What would happen if a fleet of the Galactic Empire's TIE fighters went head-to-head with a massive squadron of the United States Air Force's B-2 Spirit bombers? It sounds like a sci-fi fan's dream matchup, but let's break it down with some real-world and Star Wars logic. This isn't just about lasers versus missiles. It's a clash of technologies, tactics, and design philosophies from two very different universes. Who would truly own the skies in this ultimate showdown? First, let's get to know our contenders. In one corner, we have the iconic TIE/LN Starfighter, the backbone of the Imperial Navy. The name TIE stands for Twin Ion Engine, which gives it incredible speed and maneuverability. These things can turn on a dime and accelerate in a flash. They're armed with two powerful LS-1 laser cannons mounted on the chin of the cockpit. However, the TIE fighter has some serious drawbacks. To keep it cheap and mass-producible, it was built without shields, without a hyperdrive, and with very light armor. It's essentially a glass cannon, a fast, deadly, but fragile fighter. TIE pilots are often considered expendable, relying on overwhelming numbers to win battles. In the other corner, we have the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit, one of the most advanced aircraft ever built in the real world. This thing is the king of stealth. Its flying wing design and special radar-absorbent materials make it nearly invisible to enemy detection. A B-2 can fly over 6,000 nautical miles without refueling and deliver up to 40,000 pounds of either conventional or nuclear munitions. It's a strategic bomber designed to slip past enemy defenses, hit high-value targets, and get out without ever being seen. It's not a dogfighter, it's a ghost. It operates at high altitudes, around 50,000 feet, and its primary defense is not being found in the first place. So let's set the stage. Imagine a scenario where a large formation of B-2 bombers is on a mission, and suddenly, an Imperial Star Destroyer drops out of hyperspace and deploys a swarm of TIE fighters to intercept them. How does this play out? The first and most critical factor is detection. The TIE fighters' sensor systems are designed to track starships in the vacuum of space. How would they fare against a stealth aircraft designed to evade sophisticated 21st century radar? The B-2's shape and materials scatter and absorb radar waves. It also minimizes its infrared signature, making it hard to lock onto with heat-seeking systems. While Star Wars sensors are advanced, they are often shown being fooled by clever tactics. It's plausible that the B-2s could remain undetected or at least appear as faint, confusing signals on the TIE's screens, especially if they are flying within an atmosphere. The TIEs might be flying right past them, searching for a target they can't see. Advantage, B-2. But let's assume the TIEs do manage to find the bombers. Maybe they get a visual confirmation or use a different sensor mode. Now the fight begins. The TIE fighter is a dogfighter. Its pilot would likely try to get on the tail of a B-2 and open up with those laser cannons. The B-2 has no defensive guns. It wasn't built for a dogfight. It's slow and not very maneuverable compared to a TIE fighter. It's a big, juicy target. One or two solid hits from a TIE's laser cannons would likely tear right through the B-2's airframe. The B-2 is sturdy, but it's not designed to take hits from directed energy weapons. In a direct, close-range engagement, a single TIE fighter could easily take down a B-2. So, it seems like a win for the TIEs, right? Not so fast. We're forgetting the B-2's purpose and its payload. A B-2 pilot isn't going to try to outmaneuver a TIE fighter. Their strategy would be completely different. Realizing they've been spotted, their goal would be to complete their mission or defend themselves using their own unique advantages. The B-2s are flying in a large formation. This suggests a coordinated attack. They wouldn't just scatter and run. They would likely use electronic warfare. The B-2 has advanced electronic countermeasures, or ECM, designed to jam and confuse enemy radar and targeting systems. Could it jam a TIE fighter's targeting computer? It's highly likely. The TIE pilot might find their screens filled with static, unable to get a lock. This would force them to aim manually, which is much harder against a target at a distance. This brings us to the biggest question, engagement range. TIE fighters are typically shown fighting at very close ranges, almost like World War II dogfights in space. B-2s, and modern air combat in general, focus on beyond visual range combat. A B-2 wouldn't wait for a TIE to get close. It can carry long-range cruise missiles like the JSSM, which can hit targets from hundreds of miles away. Could a B-2 B-2 lock onto and fire a missile at a TIE fighter? A TIE is fast and agile, but modern air-to-air missiles are incredibly advanced. They can pull high GS and have their own guidance systems. A missile like an AMRAAM, designed to shoot down nimble fighter jets, would have a decent chance of hitting a TIE fighter. The TIE has no countermeasures like flares or chaff to fool a missile. It relies purely on the pilot's skill to dodge. Against one missile, a skilled pilot might succeed. Against a volley of them from a whole squadron of bombers, the odds get very bad very quickly for the TIEs. So the B-2s could, in theory, engage the TIEs from a distance before the TIEs' lasers are even in range. Imagine a squadron of B-2s launching 100 missiles at the incoming swarm of TIEs. The sky would be filled with explosions. Many TIEs would be destroyed before they even got a shot off. Their numerical advantage would start to dwindle rapidly. But let's consider the TIE fighters' own numbers. The Empire loves to use overwhelming force. We're not talking about a dozen TIEs. We're talking about hundreds, maybe thousands, launched from a Star Destroyer. Even if the B-2's missiles take out a significant portion of the first wave, many TIEs will get through. And once they're in close range, the tables turn dramatically. At that point, the B-2's long-range missiles are useless, and its stealth is irrelevant. It becomes a slow-moving target for the fast, agile TIEs. The B-2 pilots would be trying to evade, but there's only so much a massive bomber can do against a swarm of dedicated space superiority fighters. It would be a turkey shoot. The TIEs would weave between the bombers, their green laser bolts crisscrossing the sky, tearing the B-2s apart. So who wins? It all comes down to the initial engagement. It's a race. Can the B-2s detect the TIEs early enough to launch their long-range missiles and cripple the swarm before it closes in? Or will the TIEs' sheer speed and numbers allow them to close the distance and engage in a close-range dogfight where they dominate? Let's look at the bigger picture. The B-2s are strategic assets. Losing a few is a massive blow. The Empire, on the other hand, treats TIE fighters and their pilots as expendable. They can afford to lose hundreds to take out a high-value target. This difference in philosophy is key. The B-2 squadron's mission would likely be to destroy the Star Destroyer itself, the source of the TIE fighters. A single B-2 can carry nuclear weapons. A well-placed nuclear strike on the Star Destroyer's bridge or reactor would end the fight instantly. So, a possible winning strategy for the B-2s wouldn't be to fight the TIEs at all, but to use their stealth to bypass the fighter screen and go for the mothership. If we reforce to declare a winner in a direct confrontation between just the fighters and the bombers, it's a numbers game. If it's a small group of TIEs versus a small group of B-2s, the B-2s might win by using long-range missiles and electronic warfare. But if it's the classic Star Wars scenario, a massive, overwhelming swarm of TIEs, the sheer volume of attackers would eventually break through any missile defense. The remaining TIEs would then make short work of the slow-moving bombers at close range. The Empire's doctrine of quantity has a quality all its own, would likely carry the day in this specific matchup. The B-2 is a masterpiece of technology, a ghost in the sky, but it was never designed to fight a war of attrition against a swarm of disposable, agile fighters. In the end, while the B-2 Spirit is an incredible piece of real-world engineering, its specialized role as a stealth bomber puts it at a severe disadvantage against the TIE Fighter, a vehicle purpose-built for mass space combat. The TIE Fighter might be a glass cannon, but when you have hundreds of them, that's a lot of cannons. What do you think? Could the B-2's advanced tech and long-range weapons overcome the TIE's numbers? Let me know your battle plan in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this cosmic clash, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hypothetical showdowns.